Mega shout out to our first comers. Number one is May Zambrano. Hello there, May MMZ, May Zambrano. Next one is Ashley Simangan. Thanks for coming over. So we're gonna walk from Greeley Square. This is the Greeley Square. This was the same square where we had the event. Remember the salsa a few minutes ago? This is it, Greeley Square. And that's the Manhattan Mall. And that's the H&M. And that is the 33rd Street. And this one is the Herald Towers. That's the Herald Towers. It's made of granite. Granite and stone. Okay. Okay, let me see who are there. Oh, I got a lot now. Hola, Israel Morales, saludos, bienvenido. And so there's also who's there? Israel and Renee. Renee Explore City. Bienvenido, amigo. Yes. And Ashley and Israel there. Okay, so let's continue walking. Let's go across this square towards the Herald Square. Okay, let's walk towards Herald Square. Now we're going to start walking north, just a block up to Herald Square. That's another one of Midtown's famous plazas. And as we move, look around at the mix of people. This is Midtown energy. Office workers, shoppers, tourists, and performers all colliding in one melting pot of human motion. See people? Every walks of life are here. Now, Herald Square itself has a history rooted in journalism. It's named after the New York Herald newspaper, and which had its headquarters here. I will show you where it was placed. Most of the newspapers, publishing offices, headquarters were located in small triangles around Manhattan. Look at Times Square. It's located in a small triangle land there. This Herald Square, this also triangle. The Greeley, the New York, what's the newspaper of Greeley? The New York, I forgot already. I think New York Tribune, was it? Okay, but anyway, that's another triangular shape, right? On the New York Tribune, yes. But anyway, this one is another triangular place for the Herald Square. This was the previous location of Herald newspaper. Okay. Now, look at those, what do you call those monuments. Well, Herald Square itself is another, named after the New York Herald newspaper, as I told you, which had its headquarters here in the late 19th century. Well, the newspaper's building, designed by the great architect, I forgot the name, once stood proudly at this square. It had two striking bronze. Look at that. It had two striking bronze owls. Where are the owls? This one. This one are two owls. Look at that. What does owl signifies? One owl and another owl here. It signifies wisdom, right? So two striking bronze owls, they perched on its corner, symbolizing wisdom. Now, those owls are still around, and you can find them today as part of the square's memorials. Though the original building was demolished. And there's where one of the most famous NYC traditions take place. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This one. Macy's flagship store dominates Herald Square. And every year since 1924, giant balloons, marching bands, and floats have started right here, marking the beginning of the holiday season for millions of viewers worldwide. See this Herald, see this Macy's? This is another example of Baudard architecture, a mixture of Baudard, Roman, and Baroque. Baroque is not evident in this side of the building. It's on the along the 42nd Street side. That's where Baroque is evident. I will show you later as we cross back the street, so we will see the full facade along 42nd Street. Okay, so anyway, that's a Macy's, and Macy's itself is a story of ambition. When it first opened in the first quarter of 19th century or 1900, not 19th century but 1900, at this site, well, it built itself as the world's largest store, and for decades it truly was. And look at the noise, the sound of the sirens, the honking of the taxis, the engine of the big trucks like that one. Everything here is chaotic, but a good rhythmic chaos of sounds. Okay, now for decades it truly was the biggest department store in the world, and even today it's an iconic landmark. 11 floors of shopping madness, a parade headquarters, and a symbol of New York retail power. Now let's cross back for 34th Street so I can show you. The facade of Herald Square I was talking about. The particular Baroque style in a particular entrance here in Macy's.
Assalamu alaikum. No Jewish shit going on.
Okay. But Macy's has also faced criticism in recent years, questions about how brick and mortar giants can survive in the age of online shopping controversies. There it is. The age of online shopping controversies over labor practices, they have that controversy, and debates about how much space one mega store should occupy in a city where real estate is gold. It's a reminder that even institutions that seem eternal, like Macy's, must adapt or fade. So that's another life lesson in the world. The world will keep moving. So the question is whether we're ready to evolve with it. That's the question. Okay, so let's walk along 34th Street. I would like to show you that Baroque style that I was telling you, because the facade itself is a Baudard and Roman in mixture. Okay, so look at that. Those big windows that are trying to acquire as much sunlight as it can. And this particular entrance here along 34th Street, let me focus it. This is the one I was talking about. So a great characteristic of a Baroque character, shall I say. So look at that. So left and right, there's equality, same design. That's what do you call this? the tag, or I'm forgetting my word. That's how you tell it that it is a Baroque, because you know Baroque must have equal designs on the left and the right, and they're intricate, they're cursive, and they give a lot of curves and a lot of figures. Sometimes they occupy a lot of curves and figures in one small space, but this one is not as what do you call this? Konderu. Japanese is konderu. I'm forgetting my English term. Konderu, it's crowded, yeah. This one is not as crowded. これはこんな混んでるじゃないですよね。でも本当のバロックスタイルのアーキテクチャはなんかデザインは左と右に本当にcrowded です。Okay. Anyway, no. So that's what I was talking about, the Macy's Baroque character in this particular entry exit here. This alone, but not in the other parts. Other parts are more of the Baudard and Roman style. Okay, so let's continue walking. Before that, I would like to say, what is that there? Israel Morales, Ola, Rene, Sugar, and Rene Explore City. Gil, hello. Hello, Rene. Thanks for dropping by. And Mitzi, hola Mitzi. Hi all. Sorry for late. Just done with our class. So Michi-san, irashaimase. Domo ne. 今日はご来店、このライブストリームご来店いただきまして誠にありがとうね、みちさん。どうもありがとう。Okay, and Ashley's there. Christian Sanchez, amazing stream according to Christian. Jean Bedford, hello New York City, trying to greet. Hello New York City. And Ashley also greeting everyone. Ryan is there. Let me see if there's a Ryan in here. Let me check again, because I keep on talking and walking. I cannot look at the screen, or else I'm gonna trip. And Fidel Ancheta, magandang gabi from Fidel Ancheta, meaning good evening to everyone. Okay, let me start walking and not looking at the screen, looking at where I'm stepping at. Okay, so now let's take a turn here westward onto 34th Street, no? One of New York's busiest what do you call this, corridors, shall I say.
Yeah, you feel it.
Now, this stretch is legendary. It connects the East River to the Hudson River, and along the way, it passes some of the most famous landmarks in the city. So right ahead of us is the, I'll show you. It's a beautiful sight from here. Oh, I cannot see from, oh, wow, what happened? Why is the Empire State Building not lit? There's no light in the Empire State Building. I don't know why. Anyway, there's no light at the Empire State Building. Let's continue walking. Look at that. The one that you're seeing right now, the one that our camera is pointed at, is the west side of 34th Street, or that's the Hudson River side. Let's ask this lady if he has oh, you have the school bus, yellow school bus? No, you don't have the small school bus? Door? Okay, thank you very much. Inside this? Gracias, thank you. Okay, so they don't have that. So I would like to show you the Empire State. No, it's still not lit. Maybe if we walk towards by 7th Avenue, and we can get a very good, view of Empire State. We can see better. Anyway, let's continue walking. Look at this. 34th Street is, the existing new architecture like steel and glass. They go side by side with old buildings that are made of bricks. Like that one, they're made of bricks and stones. They go side by side. As much as possible, New York City wants to keep the legacy, to keep the what do you call that? Some buildings, to keep history and to show everyone what it was like, and standing along with the modern ones. Okay. You know, that Empire State Building now is a blank. It has no lights at all. You know about school bus, yellow school bus? Yeah, school bus. Bus de escuela. No, the small one, the pequeño, and amarillo. Así? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, they don't have it. I was looking for the bus. School bus yellow. Okay. You know that Empire State Building is one of the crown jewels of New York. Well, opened in 1931 actually. It was built in just 410 days. So fast. 410 days they built the Empire State Building, and it was during the what do you call that? The Depression, during the years of Depression, wherein most of everyone here in New York has nothing. Even they even have trying to strive to get food. They line up for some bread because it was the time of Depression. The economy was in so bad situation. They don't have here. Maybe the other side there. Okay. You know, it was built in just 410 days. That's amazing, and it became the world's tallest building. You know that Chrysler Building was the tallest building when Empire State Building was being built. Chrysler Building was the tallest building, and Chrysler Building had that title for a few weeks until Empire State Building was finished and grabbed that title away from where am I talking? This building, the Chrysler Building. Anyway, I was mesmerized by the the changes done in this area, because the first time, or no, not the first time, for several years this area used to be dark. No big neon or big LCD monitors like this one. They had nothing. It's dark, and it looks notorious. I'm not so feel safe going around this area before, but now it changed, you know. Anyway, I was talking about the Empire State Building. You know, that's a record speed for such a massive skyscraper, especially during the Great Depression, as I was telling you. You know, it's so tall that it was the tallest building in the world for nearly 40 years. So he got that title for 40 years, and even now it's one of the most recognizable silhouettes on the skyline. Okay, good, right? And anyway, the Empire State Building has inspired romance, movies, and even controversy. Let's try to cross. I would like to show you the Empire State Building. So noisy. Look at it. Motorcycle and ATVs passing by. Anyway, look at the Empire State Building. It has no light tonight. It's not lit. It's dark up there. What happened? It's dark up there. You notice? See, no light. Normally, on regular days, without any events or any commemoration, it's lit in plain white. But tonight, it's dark up there. First time for me to see darkness on Empire State Building. What could have happened? Maybe later on we do some research why. Anyway, we're right now here at 7th Avenue and 34th Street. You know, the 34th or 7th Avenue is also called the Fashion Avenue. There you go. So, Mitzi Gomenne, according to Mitzi. And Israel says, Rene, how you didn't arrive before to dance salsa music? Yeah, Rene, we had salsa music. I covered the salsa night there in Greeley Square, and that is their last night, because you know they hold that every Friday, and that is their last night for the salsa night. Anyway, I'm pointing now northward towards 7th Avenue. Okay, and let me do the street check again. That's a street check, okay? We're on West 34th Street and 7th Avenue, or the Fashion Avenue. And that behind is the Pennsylvania Avenue. Pennsylvania, what do you call this? Penn Station in shortcut. Well, the locals call it Penn Station, but the official name is Pennsylvania Train Station. Okay. Aaron Hockey. Oh, welcome back, Aaron Hockey. Don't forget to hit the like button. Everyone hit the like button now. Who is that? Tomo Koizumi. Ari Aoki. And Tomo Koizumi. Anyway, okay. So they're trying to lit up the streets here with big billboards, just like Times Square. And they're starting that. They're starting to lit this area up. Okay. I'm Zambrano. Gil, Empire State Building is participating in Earth Hour. Oh, thank you for informing. That's from M. Zambrano. That's why it's not lit today. Look at that. There's no light on the top floor of Empire State Building. Thank you for the information, M. Zambrano, because it's participating in the Earth Hour. You know, during Earth Hour, it's 1 hour that you have to turn off your lights, turn off the energy, turn off those that causing the carbon prints. And Empire State is participating. Thank you for that information. So, el Empire State Building participa en la hora del planeta. Muchas gracias, mi amiga. So nice. No sabía eso. Buen dato. Yes. That one there. Okay. So let's walk along 7th Avenue now. And that building there belongs to, that's part of the, what do you call this? Manhattan West. So that's part of the Manhattan West. Those the blue and the red lights there, and those buildings at the back of that. Therefore, going westward, those new buildings. That's part of the Manhattan West and Hudson area. Okay. So we'll continue walking. Okay. Thank you for that information. But anyway, you know that Empire State has inspired movies and even controversies. You remember King Kong, the favorite of Israel Morales? Let's walk on this side. Last time we walked on the west side of 7th Avenue. Now we will walk on the east side of 7th Avenue this time. But you know, I feel more comfortable walking on the other side because the other side is, I feel safer there on the other side than in this side of the street. Anyway, this is another old building. This also a this is not Budart, but this one is Art Deco. This is an Art Deco building made of bricks. Look the tall one there. I am just not familiar with the name of the building. What is this building called? But anyway, it's one of the old buildings that goes side by side with the new ones. Let's continue walking. So remember the movie King Kong? Yeah, you know that King Kong scaled the tower of the Empire State Tower in what year is that movie? I think it's 1930s, like 32 or 1933 film. You know, and cementing its place in pop culture. You know, but also in the 1940s, and a B-25 bomber accidentally crashed into it during heavy fog. Wow, it's so tall that a bomber accidentally hit it, and it killed. The result was killing some people, you know. And despite the tragedy, the building stood strong, a literal and symbolic reminder of resilience. Ooh, la música problema. Maybe it's just a short one. Good, it's short. YouTube will not notice it. And I love that white truck there. You see that white truck there? And look at the lights. The white truck there, look. And the wheels are so thick. And it looks like a, what do you call this? This kind of truck with the big wheels? Monster truck, right? Looks like a monster truck. And they're stuck in the middle of the traffic. They're trying to show that they have this kind of vehicle. Anyway, let's continue walking. Rene says, jeje. Tenemos azúcar en la escritura. Wow. So I'm talking back about the resilience that the building had, because it survived, and literally and symbolically remind of the resilience, you know, about that B bomber. What do you call that plane again? I mean, I think it's B-25. Yeah, B-25 bomber accidentally hit the building. Well, as we walk along 34th, you know, notice how the street is. The street has a microcosm, okay, of New York itself. You know, department stores, fast fashion outlets, food carts, and street performers also. No, some love it, some say it's too chaotic, but that's the duality of New York City. It's overwhelming and magnetic at the same time, you know. And you know, here's a little trivia. Now, 34th Street is one of only two streets in Manhattan where the skyscrapers are aligned so you can see the sun set perfectly down the street during Manhattan Henge. Yes. Do you remember I covered Manhattan Henge? That was a time when the sun was setting down and it's perfectly in the middle of the street. I was in, where was I? And in 42nd Street when that happened. Now 34th Street is one of those streets that can you know, the skyscrapers are aligned so you can see the sunset perfectly. So those rare days when the sunset line up with the city's grid, you know, nature and city design accidentally created one of the most Instagrammable moments in New York, and I'm one of those participants, one of those enthusiast people who catered and you know, took photographs and videos of that phenomenon. Now, north of 7th Avenue. All right, let's walk north to 7th Avenue. And let's now go straight to... You see that light at the end of the road? That is the Times Square. So soon we're gonna meet that bright location, bright street in there. Okay, yes, Rene Explore City. This is 7th Avenue. Yes. And Aaron hockey multilingual going on. Oh, because I have one Japanese speaking audience right now, and many are behind. They don't do their comments. You know, the Japanese viewers, as much as possible, they don't want to expose themselves, but they're telling me that they're behind watching me, so I can continue greeting them. じゃあ皆さんね、今日もありがとうね。いつも毎日このライブストリーミングをご来店いただきまして、またありがとうございます。いつも毎日ありがとうね。For your support. Thank you very much to my Japanese viewers out there. Okay. Okay, so we're at the 7th Avenue right now. Now, this avenue is often called the Fashion Avenue. Well, especially as it runs through the Garment District. This is part of the Garment District. 7th Avenue, 7th Avenue, towards Broadway. Yeah, 7th Avenue and Broadway, the whole block, and the side streets from 34th to 42nd Street. That's part of the Garment District, and which we are passing through right now. So for decades, this was the beating heart of the American fashion industry. Like the factories, showrooms, designers, all hustling in these blocks. The fabrics, fabric stores, showroom, factories. You know, factories, they're located on the top floors of the building, the upper floors of the building. You know, and they have on the ground floor. They have displays. They have displays of their fabrics, some raw, some woven, some sewn. What a pizza! Look at that! Ooh la la! And some Parmesan cheese. Papi pasta and pizza. Hello there. Yeah, I'm good. Look at this. Papi pasta and pizza is open right now. Oh my God! That's why I'm not comfortable walking on this side. See, they got a lot of pizza in here. Look at that. It's appetizing and making me hungry. I wanna let me cross on the other side because this side is I don't feel safe on this side, you know. Better on the other side because the other side is more lit. More people are walking on that side. And this side has a lot of surprises. The east side of 7th Avenue. Let me cross towards the west side of 7th Avenue. Anyway, as I told you, for decades, this was the beating heart of American fashion industry. Well, you know, in fact, if you look around, you might notice sculptures, plaques honoring fashion designers and garment workers, you know. And let's cross now. And this Musica Problema. Okay, mic back on. Yeah, musika problema. Si Rene Explore City. You know it, you know. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? You know, this district powered New York's rise as a fashion capital. Another music problem. Okay, good now. I'm always intimidated. Where was I? Well, I'm talking about the district, right? Okay, this district. You know, the district was powered by New York's rise as a fashion capital, I was saying, right? And long before, Paris and Milan shared the spotlight. So it's New York City who first got that spotlight by itself, the fashion capital. Okay. And it has changed. Many of the factories closed or moved overseas because as a result of globalization. Well, you know, this globalization is the culprit why factories are gone out of America, because, you know, globalization, they want more profits in their business. They want more money. They don't want more workers to pay, but they want more money to gain. That's the globalization. And where did they go? They go to the cheapest factory in the world, China. Because you know, China has cheap labor, cheap materials, and everything, and their capital is low, and they sell it high, and that's a good profit, right? Okay, another problem. We have to walk fast. Okay, so what I was talking, you know. Anyway, but like much of Manhattan, it has changed, you know. You know, every time a city, always there's a change here. Manhattan is not exempted, and many of the factories has closed or moved overseas. You know, and sparking debates about what's lost when industries leave the city. You know, critics say it's stripped away New York's creative fabric, while others argue it's simply evolution. There's always change, you know. And we're walking north, and as we head north, we will notice the energy shifts as we approach near Times Square. Look at that public art I was telling you about. Here in the garment district, you see public arts. Sometimes plaques as you walk along the streets. Sometimes it's embedded on the street. Sometimes it's on the wall. Let us see if there's some plaque here for famous designers. You know, sometimes they have it on the wall. They don't have it here. But on the other side, you see the blue button and needle and thread there of metal. Let's cross again so I can show it to you. Okay. What street are we now? It's 39, no? Anyway, let's cross the street. I want to show you this, the button and the needle public art display. So here's what I call this. I'm not sure about the title of this one, but it's the big button needle and thread sculpture. That's all I can say. I'm not familiar with the specific title, but anyway, it's located here at the corner of 7th Avenue and West 39th Street. I think the original is button and needle, or needle threading a button. Whatever. It's part of an information kiosk for the fashion center in the garment district. And let's cross. Let's see some landmarks. If we see some landmarks about the title, I don't see anything. Okay, there's something in here. It says Garment District Alliance of 2022. So this is relatively new, right? Garment District Alliance. Okay, I have my alarm went off. Alarm went off. Okay, maybe it's on the side of the building here. Let us read. Maybe on the other side here, because sometimes the title are on the sides or on the wall of the nearby structure. Oh, I see another drinking fountain. I need to drink every time I see drinking fountain, but it's not working. Okay, so I don't see any what I call this, narration about this one. But anyway, nothing in here. Nothing in here. So nothing in here. Nothing except for this one here. It says Garment District Alliance 2022. Anyway, so let me discuss a little about this. What I know about this one. You know, this one includes a huge button topped by a needle. This is around, how many feet is that? Let me see. Maybe this is around 35 feet. Just my estimate. But anyway, you know that it says there Alliance of 2022, the Garment District Alliance. But in the kiosk structure was removed and replaced by the new big button. There was an old structure in here, you know, and it was removed and replaced by this new structure, you know. It's bright yellow and the thread is aluminum and pierced by a long brassed stainless steel needle and supported by a mirror polished steel thread loop. Is my description good? Okay. Well, the entire sculpture is tall, I think around 30 feet approximately. Now, why a change? You know, the original kiosk was less used. You know, people get info via phones nowadays. Before there was a kiosk here, but at the advent of the cellular phone technology, you know, it was replaced. So stakeholders wanted to preserve the beloved icon, but in a form more suitable to today's pedestrians flow. Okay. Another one is the garment worker sculpture here on my back. This one. Let us see the title. That is the garment worker. Oh my. The Garment Worker by Judith Weller. Okay. Let me tell you about this garment worker. It's one of the public arts in here. If you notice, I noticed something about this sculpture. I haven't noticed that before. I've seen this sculpture many times, but I haven't noticed that it has something on its head. But anyway, I will discuss later what I saw. What is this one?
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So before we discuss this one, let them do their what do you call that? Their picture taking in here. Maybe they're done already. Okay, let me focus again, because I noticed something on the head of this man. But before that, I would like to say something about this one. You know, this one is a life-size bronze sculpture. It says there who? By, let me read again. Judith Weller. Okay, it says there Judith Weller. Okay. And it depicts an immigrant man. Why immigrant man? Of all man. Why specifically an immigrant man working at a sewing machine? You know why I said it's an immigrant man? I noticed on the head. Look at the head. Do you see what I see? There, the head. There's some sort of a cap on the head, like the Jews and the Muslims are wearing. What do you call that head cap? It's a religious head cap for me. That's what the man is wearing. Anyway, that's why I said it's an immigrant man working. Okay. What is the significance of this? I think it pays homage to the garment workers, many who are immigrants, who for decades fueled this area's economy and identity. Okay? Maybe do you have any suggestions about this or any opinion? Okay, so let's walk further north. Let's continue. And from here, you can see there's one of the openings of Times Square 42nd Street station. One of the openings. This is one of the very first opening or exit and entry for that station, because this one is a big station down there underground. And we are right now, since that was is a 37, this one is a 38. Oh, that was a 39, this one is a 40th. Okay, so we are now by the 40th, right? Okay then. So you see that one? It says Times Square 42nd Street Station. And a lot of lines are running under.
After like 3 drops. The 17 didn't even have a crack. He kept dropping it. The 17.
Okay, this is one of the exits. The very first, actually, from the south. If you walk south to north, this is 39th Street. So the openings for the or the exits for the what do you call this? The station is from 39 to 44. Yeah, so 44th Street. Okay. Is there any bronze around here? I think there's a another public art in here. But anyway, I'm facing now my favorite place that I haven't been to. I always telling myself to get in there one time, but until now I haven't done that. This is the Margaritaville. This is one of my favorite restaurants, bar in the area, because I would like to have the actual look of the Lady of Liberty holding a margarita glass there. See that one? That is the Lady Liberty holding a margarita glass. There you go. One of my favorites here. And mind you, Margaritaville is a resort, meaning it has swimming pool up there. See those umbrellas, the parasols? They have let me show you the parasol, the yellow umbrella. That one, the yellow parasols there by Margaritaville. Yellow parasols, now it's all closed because there's no sun. But as you visit the place during summer, it's a resort. There's a swimming pool out there. Swimming pool at the top of a building. Okay. For any one of you who is visiting New York in the future, try that. I haven't tried it myself. There they go again, the motorcycle. Hot bento. They have hot bento? Okay. I have something here that I cannot read right now. It's from Roman Chesnokov. Hello, Roman. Roman is saying, hello, everyone. And he is saying, where's that? I miss it. Anyway, M. Zambrano says the button, 15 foot. Oh, 15 foot diameter. Aluminum button and the 32 foot brushed stainless steel needle supported by mirror polished steel. Yes, that one. Thank you, M. Zambrano. Antonio de Lima de Brazil, obrigado. Thanks for coming. And Aaron Hockey, that's a cool art. Yes, smart art. Yes, it is. It is, actually, I agree with you, Aaron. A lot of buildings in New York is so beautiful and amazing. Yes, they are. And they go side by side with the old granite, from granite built to glass and steel ones, side by side. And according to Roman Chesnokov, hello everyone, this is the third morning we started with your online tour because I like watching it while I'm making breakfast. It's already the morning of September 20th. I wish you a good walk. Thank you very much, Roman. Just like Miss Jean Bedford. As Miss Jean Bedford Not only Jean Bedford, Fidel Ancheta, Jean Bedford in India, and among others. They're having their breakfast as they watch online. That's watching at the very beginning of the day. And yes, thank you very much, Roman, for coming. Who says that? Oh, Chan Mia making baseball jerseys, according to Chan Mia. Okay. Anyway, let's continue walking because I'm gonna show you another interesting bar in here, and I would love to visit that bar one time, but I haven't until now. I haven't done that yet. Yes, I haven't done that yet. Where is my or maybe in Broadway? I have my baguette coffee shop by Broadway and 41st. Anyway, let's continue walking. So this is another entrance and exit of Times Square 42nd Street station by the 41st Street. That one. This one of the entrances and exits of the station, subway. That one there. Okay. So there's Red Lobster, and you see a lot of I love NY gift shops anywhere. You know, you can see that anywhere here. And I'll show you one of the bars or restaurants that I want to visit one time that I haven't done yet until now. My goodness, what's happening to me? Yeah, maybe because of the budget-wise problem. Anyway, it's Pink Taco. Look at that, Pink Taco. Israel Morales. Ese es tu favorito. Los Tacos. Israel speaks Portuguese. Oh, do you speak Portuguese, Israel? And Antonio is there too. Yeah, Antonio de Lima is Portuguese. So, see, do you speak a little Portuguese? How are you? That Israel could be, yes. Roman, don't forget to hit the like button. Likewise with Antonio de Lima. Don't forget to hit the like button. For the meantime, and turn off my mic for a second. Anyway, the sounds, the music coming from those three tri-car. Do you call that a tri-car? It's a car with 3 wheels. Anyway, this is Pink Taco for Israel Morales. It's an interesting place. Whenever I pass by here, I always focus my camera on Pink Taco because they have an interesting interior, and they have some offers, some tacos at $4, I think. That one, their interior, but we cannot see clearly here because the light is bouncing on the glass. Look at that. I love that mural there. I love mural arts, you know. Look at those mural arts. Well, one day I can show you when I'm inside, but we're not going in tonight. Okay. Again, it's past 10 o'clock. I don't think the TikTokeries are there already. It's always late that we're coming by the TikTokerist area. If we're lucky enough, then we can catch few of them. Okay, what about me walking faster? So maybe we can at least get a little of what they're doing. Oh, traffic, traffic. Okay. Anyway, here we are at Times Square. You see how the shift of energy has transformed. You know, as we approach Times Square, you'll notice the lights getting brighter, the crowds getting thicker, the air buzzing with noise and anticipation. This is the build-up, the crescendo, like walking toward the finale of a Broadway show. Isn't that synonymous? Not synonymous. What do I call that? Not synonymous. A simile? Is it a simile? Paradox? Huh? Whatever. Anyway. No. You know, Times Square, love it or hate it, Times Square is the beating neon heart of New York City. This is the... Oh, they have their... what is that? A padre? An Orthodox priest. I think that's an Orthodox priest. Right? That's an Orthodox priest, right? That's an Orthodox priest. That's a what do you call that? An Egyptian Christian. You know, there are also Christian church in Egypt. It's not just what do you call this? It's not just Islam in Egypt. They also have churches there. I know a handful of Egyptian Christians. You know, this one is a Egyptian Christian clergy. So they also dress in black, just like the Orthodox. The Greek Orthodox clergy, they wear the same color, whereas the Catholic one wearing white. Okay. So we're now here at Times Square. You know, this is the beating neon heart of New York City. And this is the place where a single square block holds the energy of 1 million people. There's a snake there. Look at that, the snake. Okay, so Times Square is named after the New York Times. I've been telling you. That building there at the middle where the ball drop is, it says there 1 Times Square at the top, and then 2025, that is the location of the New York Times headquarters. That it moved in here in the early 1900s, and to celebrate, they hosted a fireworks display that evolved into today's New Year's Eve ball drop. Now, one of the most watched event worldwide. Look at that. But Times Square wasn't always this glamorous. I'm always saying this. So from the 1960s through the 1980s, this area was gritty, crime-ridden, filled with adult theaters and hustlers. It was notorious as much as it was iconic. No, then came the something fell from me. I heard something fell. What was I talking about? I was distracted. Okay, I was telling that there came the rejuvenation, the Disneyfication. I always use that word, Disneyfication. Let me turn off my sound. Oh my God. Okay, I was talking about the Disneyfication, renewal, or rejuvenation of Times Square. Well, in the 1990s that happened. Well, critics argue it sanitized the area too much, according to them, and erasing some of its edgy character. Well, others say it made the square safer. Let us cross. Okay. Well, you know, others say it's the square is safer, more accessible, and family friendly. Damn with you, music! These music gonna rub off my earnings. I hope the TikTokers are still here, if they are here. No, they're not here. Let me see. Oh, they're here. They're here. They're here. I saw them. I hope they're gonna do their thing again, their routine. Anyway, well, it's the eternal New York debate, actually. No, it's authentic grit versus polished spectacle. Today, Times Square is a symbol of reinvention. Yeah, and it tells us that no matter how chaotic, messy, or even dark life gets, there's always room for renewal and light. That's the final life lesson for our walk, actually. Cities change, people change, everything changes, and we can choose to shine brighter than the challenges we face. So as we stand here in the glow of billboards, surrounded by strangers all over the world, remember this: New York doesn't just tell a story of history, it tells a story of possibility. And in your own life, no matter where you're walking, you can write your own version of Times Square, a place of light, resilience, and endless energy. Okay? Now let's look for some performers around. I think this group is just taking their pictures, selfies and everything, but this is one of the groups here, you know, the one of the dancing groups here for the TikTok. There are the TikTokerists, and I'm still hoping that they would give another dance like this one, that kid there. Yeah, I hope they will give another one. Okay, let me read out some of the comments that I missed. Okay, so Ashley saying hi to Antonio, and Roman Chesnokov saying hi to Ashley, and you're welcome, Gil from M. Zambrano. Israel speaks Portuguese, so? Un verdad? Okay. Anyway, okay, I think they're going to have another show there on the other side. Okay, they're gonna start with a new show. Let's just, I will just show you the first part of what they're doing. because the first part is the best part, because this is the part where they are trying to attract audience. They're gonna do their best, they're gonna show you their exhibitions, and they're gonna
and as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what I gotta do, I really bag you, my lord. To me, it's just like a sport. Anything it's all about big concern. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me.
that's Mambo number 5 music.
Something new, the Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band. And this time, we're gonna get funky. Funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, now, we're gonna do the basic.
Come on, y'all.
Now, to the left. Now, cartwheel. Everybody clap your hands, let's go! Everybody, 2 steps inside. Everybody! One more time, motherfucker! Arriba, arriba! Right over here,
Okay, let's get out of there. That's the highlight of their show, their individual exhibition. So the next thing is just they're gonna jump again to 1 or 2 adults and that's it. Okay. Now, you notice right here in front of us, the pavement has transformed into a stage. You know, it circle forms, strangers turning into an instant audience. You know, at the center, the break dancers. You know, the music pumps heavy bass and the crowd's heartbeat sings to the rhythm. And one dancer drops low, spinning on his head. Oh, there's no spinning on the head today. Only 2 people doing the head spinning in this, the whole square. Anyway, others are, you know, legs cutting through the air like blades, and another flip backward, landing with impossible precision, and the ground shakes with energy. Well, the thing about breakdancers is that they don't wait for Broadway. They don't wait for the perfect stage with velvet curtains and spotlights. They take this street, this square, this pavement with its gum-stained concrete and traffic noise and turn it into art. And that's the lesson hitting me hard here. You know, you don't need perfect conditions to give a perfect effort. You know, these dancers don't have a red carpet. They have grit. They don't have ticket tails, and they have courage. And they don't have a script. They have flow. And even spin, or in every spin, in every flip, in every freeze is defiance. Well, it's as if they're saying, we're here, we won't be ignored, watch us rise, even if the ground beneath us isn't polished, we're here, everyone, you know. And the crowd goes wild with every daring move, with the dancers, what do you call this? I'm forgetting my word. Dancers, we call this conduction, or another word I'm thinking. command. Yeah, with the dancers command. You know, you'll hear cheers, claps, gasps, and I think that's life. You know, we spin, we flip, sometimes we crash, but if we get back up with style, with resilience, the world can't help but notice. You can see some sweat drip down their brows, muscles straining, bodies twisting, and I realized that this is a labor too. You know, these performers embody better than any parade float or speech during events. Their work is raw, physical, unrelenting, but it's also joy, and maybe that's the ultimate calling. Let's go up the red steps. Sorry for that. Because I'm connected to a wire. Let me see how much I have. Okay, I have enough power, so I can remove this now. Okay. I can remove now my extension for power bank. Okay, there you go. Let's step up there at the red steps, so we can have a very good view. I will show Roman the view from atop. Okay, we made it. We had made it. Look at that. The view is beautiful, right? Ecstatic. And it's time for me to read some of the comments there that I missed reading. I think I read most of them. Roman. Somebody says that that bronze monument of a migrant worker using the sewing machine. Someone says that that one is sewing a jersey, baseball jersey. Let me go back there. Harpag Sig Yamulke. He is wearing a Yamulke. Oh, that's a Yamulke. Thank you for your information. Okay, that's a Yamulke from Aaron Hockey. A Yamulke, the one in the head. Yeah. And according to Chan Mia, making baseball jerseys, the tailor of New York. Yes, there's a tailor of New York. You know, that tailor of New York. Today 18th or 19th? Oh my God! Today is 19th. I thought it's 18th. I hope my date on the thumbnail is correct. Anyway, let's talk about. I would like to talk about that the garment workers culture. So that's the bronze statue is depicting an immigrant working at a sewing machine. No. So it pays homage to the garment workers. Which are many are immigrants who for decades fueled the garment industry of New York's economy and identity. Yeah, that's what I would like to add. We missed one of the bronze bust there. I just can't remember which side of the street was the bus that I saw before. I mean, I think it's by the Broadway side, but we walk along 7th Avenue. Yeah, and I think that bronze bust is by Gilda Meir. You know, not Gilda, Golda Meir. Golda Meir was the Prime Minister of Israel, and her statue is one of the relatively few in NYC dedicated to women. We missed that. Before I saw that bust before, but I just don't remember which area. But it's along that area too. But by the Broadway side, that's what I can figure out. And we passed through, but we did not pass through the New York Roots. The New York Roots is under another public art, but it's located along Broadway. That's along Broadway between 39 and 41st, and part of the Garment District Alliance as well. You know, I think that's around 7 steel sculptures, and they are abstract and intertwining forms. It's meant to evoke the invisible corrections of family community, roots under one surface life, the strength and resilience beneath what you see from that public art. Why are these public arts matter? Why these pieces matter? You know, a heritage and memory of the fashion garment district that is not existing anymore because they all moved the garments factories outside the U.S. for the purpose of gaining more profit. Yeah. Much of the public art there remembers the immigrant tailors, the labor and craftsmanship, the industrial past of New York City, and the garment workers' culture, and that bottom and needle sculpture as well, are all symbols honoring that past. It's not just pretty, it's storytelling. Anyway, so we are at the top of the red steps. As you can see, a sea of people down there. If you're here, you will be mesmerized as well. So look at that, as if there's no space in between. All you see are people moving here and there. You know. How about me taking a short clip of this one? Anyway, so we're at the steps, TKTS steps, right? So the TKTS steps here. Well, you know, this is a place to do people watching, resting, adoring the beauty of the giant LEDs around us here. You know, there's nowhere else on earth like quite like this actually. You know, the neon lights, massive LED billboards, the Broadway marquees, the street performers, food carts out there, and people from every corner of the world. This is the crossroads of the world, you know, and it didn't earn that nickname for nothing. And think about this. During the early 1900s, it was the Longacre Square, home to horse stables and carriage makers, and to anything related to carriage and horse industry. Well, it was gritty, industrial, and unremarkable. Then New York Times moved its headquarters here and persuaded the city to rename it Times Square. That simple act of rebranding from Longacre to Times literally changed how the world would forever see this place. So that's a life lesson, you know. Sometimes to reinvent yourself, all you need is a bold new name, a fresh vision, and the courage to step into the spotlight. And do you know that I've said this many times before already in the past, and I'm going to say it every time that I'm here. The very first New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square wasn't actually the ball drop. It was fireworks. And the ball came in, I think, 4 years after. And there's a heavy iron and wood orb with 100 light bulbs. You know? Well, today the ball is a high-tech spear covered with nearly thousands, more than 2,000 or less than 3,000 of waterfall crystals, and has a lot of LEDs. Like, you know how much? 32,000 LEDs. And every year, 1 billion people worldwide watch it drop, like Christian Sanchez, who is very enthusiastic and very repetitive in his desire for the ball to drop and waiting for the new year to come as early as summer. And, you know, imagine that, from a humble iron ball to global tradition. Growth takes time, but the vision stays the same. To shine brightly at midnight, year after year. Now let's talk about these glows of the billboard around us. Times Square is one of the only places in the world where the law requires buildings to be covered in illuminated signs. Yes, it is a law here, a requirement. And if you own a building here, you're legally obligated to light it up. Why? Why they do that? Well, maybe because the city wants Times Square to never lose its dazzling electric character. Well, that's another reminder for us. Don't hide your gifts. Let them shine, even when it feels like too much. Well, of course, Times Square hasn't always been this glittering. I always been telling this every time I'm here. It's not always been this glittering tourist haven. You know, in the 70s and 80s, it was known for crime, adult theaters, and what's the other word? I remember now my word. Urban decay. Yes, an urban decay. Well, locals called it the Deuce. D-E-U-C-E. The Deuce. And it was infamous worldwide, not just here in the United States. You know, some people look back at that gritty period with nostalgia and saying it was raw, authentic New York. Others are glad for the Disneyfication. I was always saying about Disneyfication and the rejuvenation and renewal of Times Square at the beginning of the 1990s, when massive redevelopment brought in family-friendly entertainment and flagship stores and the bright LED displays also. Well, and that's the controversy actually. Did the city save Times Square or did it sanitize it? Did it lose its edge or gain its soul back? Oh, they're going to start another show there again. They're shouting and trying to attract audience again. Well, anyway, you know, some critics say that the corporate takeover pushed out the small, rough, unique parts of Times Square character, you know. But supporters argue that without it, Times Square might have crumbled completely. You know, life is like that too. Reinvention always sparks debate. And when you change, some people will cheer and others will say you've lost what made you you. But like Times Square, you've got to decide, do you stay stuck in decline or do you keep shining in a new way? Now look at the theaters around Times Square. You know, this is a Broadway country. Times Square is the beating heart of the theater district. And just few steps away from those side streets like 46, 47, 48, 49, you know, you've got legendary theater houses like the Lyceum Theater, the oldest continuously operating theater on Broadway. Lyceum Theater, I think, is located there on the 45th. Wait, 46. Yeah, 46. That one, 46. Where Mamma Mia is. That's 46. That's where the Lyceum Theater is. You know, that's the oldest continuously operating theater in the area. It was built in the beginning of 1900. Another one is the Schubert Theater, where shows like A Chorus Line and Chicago became sensations. Now Chicago is being shown at the Ambassador Theater. It transferred to Ambassador Theater. And the Palace Theater, once home to vaudeville, and there were legends like Judy Garland and Harry Houdini. That was their theater before. Now each one is a shrine to storytelling and reminding us how powerful it is to step onto a stage and share your truth. You know, millions of actors have dreamed of making it on Broadway. Most never do. But the ones who succeed are the ones who keep showing up. You know, audition after audition, rejection after rejection, until that one yes finally arrives. And that persistence is the real story of Broadway. And it's a lesson we can carry in our lives, in our own lives. You know, success doesn't always come fast. But if you keep showing up to your stage, eventually the spotlight will find you. Well, over here at the top of the steps, you'll see costume characters like Elmo, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Super Mario, King Kong, and even a few off-brand superheroes who may or may not have Disney's permission. They pose for photos with tourists, hoping for tips, and some people laugh at them. Others find them annoying, but I see something else actually. It's hustle. Sorry for that. Well, New York has always been about the hustle. Everyone here is trying to carve out a living, just like what I'm doing. I'm trying to go streaming every day so I get noticed in YouTube. So eventually I gonna make my living out of this one, hopefully. And you know, even if it means sometimes sweating inside that heavy costume all day, they're still doing it just to make a living. Well, it's not glamorous, but it's real. You know, that Times Square too, behind the lights and glamour, it's still about human greed and the survival. So let's not forget we are on the red steps right now, and above the TKTS booth, one of Times Square's modern landmarks. You know, people sit here day and night watching the chaos below, taking selfies, proposing marriages. I've seen a lot of that here, and even just breathing in the madness. You know, it's a spot where locals and tourists alike pause to say, "Wow, I'm here." And I'm saying that right now. Oh la la, I'm here at the top of TKTS. Well, sometimes in life you need to climb your own version of the red steps. Pause, look around, and appreciate just how far you've come. Okay, the time is 11:23. I need to go run because I'm the Cinderella boy. I need to go run before 12 o'clock or else I'm gonna be late with my boss. Anyway, I'm gonna step down from here and head back to the station. And you know, we're going to head back to the station. That's the Times Square 42nd Street station. That's the busiest transit hubs in the world, actually, I will say it. Well, that station connects more than a dozen subway lines. Okay, as I talk, I'll go down. Hope I will not sleep on these creams around. You know that 42nd Street Station is carrying hundreds of thousands of people daily. It's like the bloodstream of the city. You know, pumping people in and out constantly. And that's why Times Square feels so alive. It's literally the city's beating heart, pumping energy 24/7. Let's walk this way because on the left side, some spots wherein there's no radio signal. So let's walk in the middle. Anyway, I was talking about the 42nd Street Station, right? And speaking of, I said it's 24/7, that it's been alive and has energy. And speaking of the 24/7, did you know Times Square has never gone dark since the 1900s? Even during the 2003 blackout. You remember the 2003 blackout before? I want to give this man something food. I have a food here. I want to give him something. Okay, wait. I think this man needs food. I'll just take something from my bag so I can give him. He needs food. This man. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Do you need some? Okay, that's for you. I gave him some food. He needs it. I gave him a granola bar I have in my pocket. I don't need it today anyway. I still have some in the house. I can replenish it inside my bag. I always have granola bar in my bag just in case of my what do you call that? Diabetic syndrome. I sometimes go hypo, you know. Let's cross the street now. Oh, there's another one here needing some food. Oh wow, I already put it back in my bag. I would like to give him some chocolate, but he's wearing a lot of jewelry. Look at that. Wait, let's cross. No, it's not time to cross. Do not cross. It's not time to cross. But anyway, there's no car involved to hit me. I will be crossing. So I was talking about 24/7 that Times Square has never gone dark, right? Even during the 2003 blackout. Do you remember that blackout in 2003? It's so noisy in here. Okay. You know that the 2003 blackout shut down most of the city. You know, Times Square was one of the first places to light up again. Yeah, and during the pandemic, the lockdown in the 2020, was it 2020? Yes, the lockdown starts at 2020, in 2020, right? And when streets everywhere went empty, Times Square's screen still flashed. Imagine that. Okay, and even with no one there to see them, I think that's resilience. I always say resilience in my live streaming, because life is regarding resilience. We have to strive hard, be resilient. No, to keep glowing even when the world seems empty. That is resilience. Now here's the inspiring part. Look at the diversity around you. Families from Asia taking photos, street dancers from Brooklyn and the Bronx, flipping on the pavement, tourists from Europe eating hot dogs, office workers like that one there, hurrying past, some buskers singing, and these dancers here. Overnight. They have to pressure their speech. No? Is that culture or inheritance? Because when they were small babies, they don't do pressured crying, right? Maybe that's inheritance from the caregivers. They see the caregivers talking in pressured speech, so they do the same. And until it becomes culture. Anyway, so look around, right? Times Square isn't just about lights. It's about people also. It's a proof that the world can gather in one place with all its differences and somehow coexist in a symphony of sound and motion. That's what makes New York the city of dreams. So as we stand here and we walk back, let me ask you, what's your Times Square? Where's that place in your life where you want to shine, where you want to be seen, and where you want to say, I was here? Well, because no matter how crowded, noisy, or overwhelming life gets, you deserve a place in the spotlight too. You know what? I'm really hungry because I remember that I just took, what did I take? This is Cat's Eye, Jollibee for Cat's Eye. Is this a group, Cat's Eye? Be saucy. It's a group. I want burger. Okay, anyway. But it's late already, 12. No, I don't want to miss my bus. I don't want to go home at 3 o'clock again. I must be reaching my bus stop before 12. Because after 12, it is every hour that the bus is coming and going. Anyway, let's leave out that hunger out. I have some, my granola bar. I've given it away already to that man needing food, right? Oh my God. Anyway, I have some bars here, but it's not granola, it's chocolate. A small chocolate, coconut chocolate bar. Yeah. Okay. I can feel the tiredness in my legs. My legs doesn't want to cooperate with my mind in going home because it feels heavy. It feels like it wants to stop and rest. I can't blame my legs because I've been walking for long. Anyway, he's going home now. The bronze man is going home now. Let's go home. Anyway. Whew. It's a long walk and a long talk. I'm thirsty again. Ay. I feel tired actually. Yeah, I'm feeling tired. So let's cross this street, and as usual, we're gonna end our streaming on that corner before I get inside the station. Is it clear to cross? No, not yet. It's not clear to cross. There's no indication. Oh, let's walk over that side. So, you know, we walked together from the heart of Garment District at Greeley Square, past Herald Square, along 34th Street, up 7th Avenue, and finally here into the bright chaos of Times Square. Now, along the way, we saw the layers of this city: history, the art, the commerce, fashion, resilience, and reinvention. You know, think about it. From Horace Greeley, you know, remember Horace Greeley, the one who fought against for presidential election against, what's the name of the opponent? Grant. Yeah, it was Grant. The statue there reminding us that failure doesn't erase impact. Yes, that I told you at the beginning of the stream about that one failure of Greeley, and weeks after his loss to the election, he died because he I think felt depressed about it and thought too much about it, but he doesn't realize that failure is not just from one event only. There's always failure and there's always positive effect. Man, well, from that impact from the Horace Greeley statue reminding that failure doesn't erase impact, to Macy's showing that giants must adapt to survive, and to the Empire State Building, proof that even in the hardest times we can build something timeless, and to the button and needle sculpture reminding us of the immigrant hands that stitch their way into the fabric of New York. And every block told us a story of struggle, creativity, and persistence. That's the lesson of New York. And this city has been knocked down and cleaned up, rebuilt, criticized, praised. What else? And reimagined countless times. And yet, it stands. It shines and it reinvents itself every single day. And isn't that life? No? We stumble, we get messy, critics talk, changes come. But like this city, we can choose to keep walking forward. You know, Times Square itself is proof. You can go from grit to glow, from dark corners to blazing light. So wherever you are, tuning in from, maybe from Russia like Roman, from Germany like Washbar, or Miss Jean Bedford from India, or who else from Indianapolis. Your story is still being written. You've got roots that hold you steady, and a future that can shine as bright as these neon lights. Thank you for walking with me through the living, breathing story of New York City. So until next time tomorrow, I could be covering from 12 noon. I just can't remember what's the event, but it's early noontime. It's Saturday. So don't forget to keep moving forward. Okay, and keep your light alive. And remember, every step you take is a chance to reinvent yourself. Just like this city does every single day. Okay, everyone, goodbye and good night. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. Matashita atarashi no live streaming o yarimasu no de mata aimashou ne. To everyone on the other side of the world, thank you very much. Paalam, sayonara, arrivederci, goodbye, adios, mi amigos y amigos. Hasta la vista.